let me go ahead and get started right here with what we're going to talk. There's a bunch of stuff going on right here, and don't get scared because I am going to break it all down for you. Really, really simple. The first thing that I want to break down for you before we get into all this thing, right? It's going to be the basics of the trends, the basics of like the trade, right? And to start with the basics, I want to explain you something. I want you to know that every single one of these candles are always going to be representing what the price does within a certain time period. In this case, we're looking at the 4-hour candles. You can see right here, 4-hour, right? So every single one of these candles is what the price did within those 4 hours. Like, where was the price within those 4 hours? What, like in this case, for example, let's look at the last candle. The last candle is telling us that when the last 4 hours started, the price opened right there. Within those 4 hours, the price at some point was up here and at some point was down here. Now, we don't know how long it was there. It could have been a minute. It could have been 5 minutes. It could have been 3 hours. It doesn't matter. But it left like a trace that it was there. However, when the 4-hour finished, the price ended up right here. So even though the price traveled all this, what really the price did in those 4 hours, it was just from here to here. So that's why you can see this. This part that you see, the square, is the body of the candle. The lines, they're called wicks. They only represent where was the price, like the trajectory of the price, like where was the places where the price was, right? So now that we understand that, I want to explain kind of how price move. And obviously, like, if, for example, it's a 4-hour candle. If we were to go to 1 hour, for 1 hour, we'll make this 4 hours. So actually, let me show you so we can see it. So look, I'm gonna circle this right here, right? Just this little space right here. And you're going to see how when I go to the 1 hour, it's going to be divided into 4 candles. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. So that's like the awesome part. You know, like it looks like 4 candles, but it's really, you know, 1 candle when you look at it in the 4 hour. And if you look in the 30 minutes, well, it's just going to be 8 candles. So anyway, now that that's clear, perfect. I'm glad you understood that. So how does price move, right? If price wants to go from point A to point B, price is not going to go like this. I mean, price is not going to go like this, up, just like that, right? Price usually move in diagonal, but it doesn't move like diagonal like that because it's going to make the candle. So the way the price moves is like this. It moves in zigzags, right? It starts moving in zigzags so it can get to the level that it want to get. Or even if it's consolidating, it's moving like this, right? It's always moving up and down, up and down, up and down, even in the little moments, right? So now that we understand that, I want to talk about some of the most basic things, right? The basics of the basics that you got to understand. And they're going to be this. The price moves in zigzags, and these zigzags create trends. So, for example, if we want to move from here to there, right, the price is going to do this. The price is going to do this, right? When price does that, price creates what it's called a trend. In order to make a trend, you want to grab one point to another point and connect them. However, automatically, when you connect them, you can extend that line. And if you extend that line, you're going to see where the next point is. You see that? So we connected this point to this point, and then price will come and test the same point, making a line. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So that's the most important part right now, which is understanding how a trend is formed. So let's say, for instance, let's say we had let's say we only had this, right? Let's say we only had this. In this moment, what kind of trend do we have right there? We don't know. The only things that we can do, we can connect price from here to here, right? We extend the line, but we're making it because it's touching right here. And we can connect, what else? What else we can connect? We can connect from here to here, and we can also see. And this is a weird example because usually price is going to move into like a flag, which means that this would have probably come like right here. So it can be perpendicular. You see how like it's kind of like parallel, like one to the other. You see that?
Yeah.
That's really how it moves. That's why it looks better right here. If we were to connect this one, it would have probably been like this. Okay, so now that you understand how the trends are formed, right, and I'm gonna write it down right here because this is gonna be your first homework that you're gonna need. You're gonna need to find a chart and identify a trend, right? So obviously I'm explaining it and then I'm gonna break down. So first, you need to find a trend, right? Now, the second thing that you need to understand is what is support and resistance. And I'm gonna break it down for you really, really simple. So support and resistance are the places where price changes direction or where price bounces. In this case, let's say for example right here, well let me make a new example. Let's say price is doing this. Right? Let's say price is doing that. And it's a little crazy, but let's just say price did that. So what will be supports and resistance? So this zone right here will be a resistance. This zone right here will be a support. And even if you really wanted it, even this little zone right here could be a support too. So now, how did I come up with that? And this is super random. I'm later making this up on my hand right now, but just to kind of explain you. So the way that we will come up with this, it's because let's look at what's going on right here. Price is coming up, blah, 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 bounces down into the zone, okay, then it bounces right here, okay, it bounced down. Oh, it bounced right into the same zone, and now it bounced up, okay, bounced down, oh, it bounced same in the same area, and then it bounced up, oh, in the same area, it got rejected, and then it bounced down, where? It bounced right to the same area where it started, and then when it bounced up, it comes and then boom, it bounces again off the same place, and then it bounces again off the same place. And I know that looks a little bit confusing right now, but once I break it down right here on the chart, you're gonna be able to see it. So support and resistance, it's nothing but just the levels that prices respects. So if price is moving in a trend, the support and resistance are just like a trend, but they're horizontal. They're not diagonal, right? So in this case, this will be the resistance and this will be the support. They're like the ceiling and the floors of the market. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. And bro, honestly, I don't know how advanced you are. So if it's a little bit too slow, you can let me know. I'm just trying to break it down from the very basics before we get into the big stuff, right? So
that's all right.
Okay. So in this case, let me actually look at it on the daily chart. Right? Let me look at this on the daily chart really quick just so we can find some support and resistance. So where can we find support and resistance? Right here, we can find a level of resistance and support. Why? Price came down, and this is the daily chart, remember, so it took a lot of time until it came back again. But price came down and it rejected right here. Then it broke it, went down, and then it came back and boom, rejected of this area. Here it was a support, here it was a resistance, but you can see it's the same line. And then let's look at it, bro. This was July 2007. And then it came back to the same area on January 2008. And then it came back to the same area on April 2008. Then it came back to the same area on June 2008. And then it came back to the same area on October 2008. You see how when it broke it, it came right into the zone to test it, and then it shot up. And then what happened? It came right into the same area, October 2009, January 2010, then it broke it, and then it started consolidating around the zone, blah, 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 blah. Then it came back and boom. You see how every time it touches this line, it's like it's trying to change direction. It comes right here, it tries to change direction, right? You see it, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And this is the daily chart, so remember, that's taking a lot. However, you can see how it's not always super perfect, and that's why every time we're going to find support and resistance, we find it as a zone. It's going to be a zone that we mark. You see? It's kind of like a zone that we mark. So now that we know that, right, we understand what support and resistance is. Let me go ahead and add to the homework. So we know support and resistance. And you can write it down in your notes if you're taking notes right now, because I'm gonna need you to do this homework, right? So now let's identify how a trend works. So the trend, in order to identify the trend, and this is the next thing you're going to need to do, you're going to need to find higher highs and higher lows. So what is a higher high and a higher low? So we know this is a trend because we mark from here to here, we extend the line, and then we see another touch, we see another touch, we see another touch, right? However, you see what it says higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. So the reason for it, it's because price came in and it made a low, right? Then it came in and it made a higher high. Do you know why this right here, it's a higher high? It's all right if you don't know it. So the reason why this is a higher high, it's because when price came in right here, it broke this previous high. You see how it had this high? And then when it came in, it broke it. It basically broke this level. As soon as it broke this level, it made a higher high, right? And now the high was set right here. So then let's see what happens. Price came in, came in, came in, came in, came down. When it came down, it made a higher low. Why? Because this low did not break this level. You see? This low did not break this level. So because it didn't break it, it was a higher low. If this would have came down up to here, then it would have been a lower low, which would have been that it's not an uptrend. But because it respected that and it came and it didn't break this level, it was a higher low. And then what happened? Price went up, went up, went up, and it made a higher high. Why? Because now it broke the new high level, which was this one. You see, it was high. You see, this was the new resistance, and it broke it, and it made a higher high. So now our new high is set right here. So now we have our first higher high and our first higher low. Then price came in, and it made a second higher high, and then when it came down, it made another higher low. Why did it make another higher low? Because when it came right here, this low did not break this low, right?
Yeah.
This low did not break this low because this low was right here and price came only up to here, right? So now we have our high and our low right here. Let's see, price keeps going, keep going. Oh, it makes a new higher high. Why? Because this high broke this level, which was our previous high. So now it created a new higher high because it's obviously higher than the previous high. So now our high, it's right here. Then let's keep going. Price came in, made a new higher high, a third higher high. And then when it comes down, it made a new higher low. Why? Because this low did not break this low. So our new low is set right here. Price came up. Oh, it broke the higher high. And now it made a new high, which seems obviously now that it was the last one. And it made a new high. So now our new high was right here. This is our newest high right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 higher highs. Then price came down and it made a higher low. Why? Because this low did not break this previous low, right? So now we have our highs and our lows. So now we see that the price moved on an uptrend. But let's keep seeing what happened. Price came down, it made a higher low, and then when it came up, did it make a higher high? No, because this high did not break our previous higher high. So this high was a lower high. A lower high. I'm actually going to write it down. That was a lower high.
Lower high.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
See, that was a lower high because this did not pass this high. So now it made a lower high. And now let's keep looking. It came down, and oh, what happened? What happened right there? What do you think is the name of this that happened right there? What do you think that's the name of it?
I lower low.
A lower low, yes. Why? Because now price broke the previous low.
Low,
So
yeah.
it made a lower low. You know what I mean? Did you know this already? I just want to know. I want to make sure I'm not going too slow, you know?
No. And now we'll get into it.
Okay, cool, man. I'm here to help, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to definitely make sure that you're getting some value. I don't want to go over super basic stuff, but this, as basics as it looks, this is the most important part of trading because it's how you understand where the trend is going. And I don't know if you already heard this, but they're always going to tell you the trend is your friend. You always want to go with the trend. You don't want to go against the trend. What does that mean? That if you're right here, you don't want to take a sell. You want to take the buy, right? Right here, you want to take the sell. But right here, you want to take the buy. Overall, you want to take this buy all the way to here. Well, this is the daily chart. So this took a long time. But anyway, so price came up and then it made a new high. Did this high break the previous two highs? Because you can see we have a lower high right here and we have a lower high right here as well. And then price, right, came down. And listen, there was a lower low even before. I'm going to put it right here for you. This was our first lower low. Why? Because when price came in, look at this, right? I'm gonna break it down so you understand on a bigger picture how you can see the trend, because there's always gonna be a trend within a trend. Does that make sense? Like there's gonna be little trends within the little trend. So price came in and he made a higher low. Then he came in and he made another low. This low did not break the previous low. So that was still a higher low. So price still on an uptrend. Then he made another low. This low did not break this low. So price is still on a higher trend. Then he made another low. So price did not break this low. Then he made another low. It did not break this low. So you see how it was a little trend within the whole huge trend that we have. It was still making a little trend, right? And then what happens? Price came up, and when it came down, oh, right here, we already knew price changed direction. Why? Because it broke 1, 2, and 3 previous lows. You see that? It broke the 3 previous lows that price had made. So even though it hadn't broken this one yet, on the bigger picture, it had already broken this 3, giving us an indication that the market was changing direction at that point, right? So then it broke it, it made a high, and then this high was a lower high because it didn't break this high. You see, it came up all the way right here, and it didn't break this high. So that was already another lower high. And then the price came down, and boom, finally broke this previous higher low, making a new really big lower low. Now price came up and it made another lower high because it didn't break this high or this high. How amazing is that, brother? Huh? It's crazy. It's crazy because that's how the market moves. So your other part of the homework, right? Your other part of the homework is going to be find a trend, support, resistance, higher highs, higher lows, right? And then you can also find a downtrend if you want and do a lower lows and lower highs. So now, because we're running really quick and you're understanding a lot, I'm gonna keep going and I'm gonna give you better stuff so you can see a little bit better. So the ways that price moves, it's on something called wave formations. Wave formation. So what is a wave formation? You see right here, this, it's a wave. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's called a wave. And that's the way that the price moves usually before it changes direction. And I'll show you right here. You can see how the price on the bigger picture, it came down, it made a flag. This right here, this is called a flag. Let me show you really quick. When the price comes in, right, and it makes a move up, it then comes down. This is called a pullback. It's also called a flag. It could be called a pullback or it could be called a flag. Then it shoots up and then it makes another flag or pullback. So remember, I don't know if you're writing notes, but you should be writing notes right now. This is called pullback. Okay, so this is called a pullback or a flag. So that's how the price moves. However, even though this is like let's put it like this is a flag, this is a flag, and this is a flag. But on a bigger picture, this whole thing could be a flag. This whole thing could be a flag because if price is coming like this could be a flag too, right? Because if it's coming like this, it makes a flag. Comes like this, it makes a flag. Comes like this, it makes a flag. So this is a bigger flag. So let me explain that better. And then price is gonna make a flag within the flag, bro. It's crazy, dude. I love it, brother. I love it because everything makes so much sense. Like everything that I'm explaining to you right now, you're gonna start seeing it on your own, and you're gonna be amazed of how accurate the market is. So look, this is the daily time frame. So it started in 2016. Price made a huge move down, up all the way up to here. And then what it did, it made a flag, right? It made a flag. Then it made a flag, it broke the flag, it made a new higher low. So you see how this was already a low, this was a lower high because it didn't break this high, and this was our lower low because it broke this low. But this is on the big picture, so that's why I didn't break it down. And then what happens? Price is in an uptrend, but this uptrend, it's a flag. It's a huge flag. What I believe is going to happen is the price is doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I believe there's going to be a 5 right here. That's why you see it right there. However, let's look at it now on a smaller time frame, right? Let's look at it now on this time frame. So look what price is doing right here. I don't know if you can see it, but look at this. First of all, take a mental picture of this. Let me put it like this really quick so you can see it. Let me put it right here. Take a mental picture of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see this right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 coming. Can you see it on the big picture, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so now look at this. Now look at this. I'm going to move the same thing, but on a smaller picture. Let's see what's happening, right? So price came in, and he made, it's already marked, so I'm not going to do it, but he came in 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's now making the 5. Do you
Yeah.
see that? Do you see how on a bigger picture it does it, and then on a smaller picture it still do it? Can you
Yeah.
see that? So
Yeah.
that's why we switch between the daily, and you see how this is dropping. This market been dropped hard, man. This market dropped hard. And
Yeah.
that's how we can see what is it that's going on. Then if we drop to, let's say, the 4 hour, right? If we drop to the 4 hour, I can almost guarantee you that there is going to be another wave formation forming, right? Right here, price was consolidating. That was called consolidation. Price is always going to do a contraction and then expansion, contraction and expansion. So this is consolidation. That was no formation right there. It's just a huge amount of consolidation. However, we can see that this was a flag. You see how this was a flag? This move right here. And even though this was a flag, this was an uptrend, right?
Yeah.
Like, can you see how this little thing right here is the same as this whole thing that we got right here? This whole thing, it's called a big flag. But that whole big flag is the same as this little flag that we can see right here. This is a little flag, and it's the same as this little flag that we can see right here, right? So you see the big thing, it's the same as the small thing, and the smaller thing, you know, and it's just depending on the time frame that you're looking at, the way the price is doing it. So it's making sense so far?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and find, where was the, okay. So we got higher lows, higher highs. Find a flag. Find a flag. We also want to find a flag, so you can make sure that you see that. Flags are one of my favorite things because they're really, really, really accurate. So now, the last thing I want to explain you for today, because I think we covered a lot of stuff, right? And what we can do is recap it, but I want to now cover another thing, which is how does price move from one point to the other, right? And I'm explaining it actually using these examples that we got right here, right? So the way the price moves from one point to the other, it's going to be like this. Oops. It's going to be like this. Okay. So let's say we got our resistance and our support, and price is moving in between. But let's say the price wants to come up here. Let's say that the target is to come up here, right? Price is most likely not going to come like this. Most likely it will not just go like that. And if it goes like that, it will come back down to here. But why? Why would it do that? And the reason is this. When price breaks a level of support or resistance or a flag, whatever it breaks, a trend, price is always going to do what is called break. Let me put it. When price breaks a level, let's put support, resistance, trend, etc., it will break and retest. Break and retest. That, my friend, should be your number one favorite word. Break and retest. So what is break and retest? So when price breaks this level, like you see how it's like staying in between. So when it breaks it and it finally makes a move up, before it goes here, price is going to come and retest the level. Retest the level before it makes the move up. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
If price wants to come down here, what do you think it will do? It will break it, retest it, and then make the move down. So the same things happens with the trends and the flags. Why do the trends move like this, right? Why do the trends move like this? Because price is trying to go from one level to the other one, and all that it's trying to do is every time it comes, it breaks it and it retests it before it can come to the next level, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense right now?
Yeah.
Are you ready to see it in live action, a live example?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's see a live example. I love it, brother. I love because this is my favorite pair because you have so many good examples, and you are gonna see again how the small things happen within the big things. The small moves happen within the big moves. So now let's look at it right here. Right? Let me find it right here, right here. Let me go to the daily so we can break it down for all the way from the top to the bottom. So, okay. Let me find, okay. So right here, for example, let's start from all the way right here, right? We can see that this level, this zone right here that I have in green, it's a level of support and resistance. Why? Because price came in down here and it bounced up. You see it bounced up right here, it bounced up right there, it bounced up right here, then it broke it, it bounced up, like it's a lot of things going on right there. So when price finally came down and it broke it, what did it do? It came back right into the zone and retested it before coming back to the next green area. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Price came in, retested, and then it came down to this area, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, brother. You're a smart person, bro. You're following everything, so I love it, dude. I love it. Perfect. So then let's see what else is happening. Even right here, when price came into the right here, it created a support. It came in, retested here, it broke it. But when the price decided to make a higher high, you can see that on the small picture, price came up, it broke the level, it retested it, and then it shot up. And what level did it retest? The same level that it had previously bounced off. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. And I'm just asking because I want to make sure that, you see it. If not, I'll explain it again. As I said, not everybody understands in the same way. So we're here to help, bro. So then what happened, right? What happened after? Price came up, went up, it made a flag. This is a flag. This is a flag. Even though this is an outtrend, this is a flag. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, bro. Perfect. So when it came, it retested this level. Oops. Yeah, let me just delete that because this, I put too many stuff in here, man, because I have it ready to explain. So it came up, it break this level, blah, blah, blah. And then what happens, right? I want you to see it right here. After the price made the flag, it came up and it retested right here. But what kind of retest was this? And this is my favorite retest because this is a trend retest. What does that mean? Let's say this is a trend that we got right here, right? Let's say that's a trend. Let's say price is like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, right? When price breaks this trend, it will come and retest it, and then it make the move up and move out of the trend. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So look at this.
It shoot down there.
Yeah, so exactly. So look at it right here. Right? You see this?
Yeah.
You see it came in and then it broke it, and then it came in and retested it perfectly right here, and then it bounced down. That is called a break and retest. And this is on the daily chart. However, let's go to the 4-hour and see what else happened. If we go to the 4-hour, and you can see it, how it did it twice, it did a double retest. It broke, retested, and then it made a bigger retest. So you see how the small moves happens, but before this move, the big moves happen, there is a small moves as well. Always, brother, always it's gonna do it. Sometimes it does it twice because it's gonna be a bigger move. Because, for example, right here, it broke and retested, so it can make this move. It's almost like it's getting steam. You know what I mean? It's almost like it's coming and drinking water, so it can make sure that it goes and runs again. So it comes in, it makes a little retest to make this move, but this move, it's a big retest to make the big moves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect, bro. Perfect. So then let's see what's happening. Price came in, blah, blah, blah. It came on the trend. And then what it do? It made this trend. It broke the trend. It broke the trend right here. And what it did, it retested it. That was a long retest because that was a little bit of market manipulation. They were trying to move the market. So now I want to show you something. Oops, I want to show you something. Let me open my notes right here. I actually have a perfect example of what a break and retest looks like because this is one of my favorite pairs. You're going to be able to see it. Do you see this? You see how price is coming on the trend and then it breaks it and it comes in right to the retest.
Nice.
And it comes right on the retest, which is the trend line and also the support level. You see that? And what do you think price did here, bro?
Went
Drop.
up.
It
Went
dropped,
up.
bro. It dropped, and then it came in and retested it again, but then it dropped, right?
Okay.
That is the beautiful part about it. Let me show you other examples I have right here. So this is what I believe it was gonna do, right? And I'm explaining this chart. This is an analysis that I did, right? And what I want you to see is this. You can see my mouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so look how I marked in a circle when price was consolidating. And when price was consolidating, you can see that it actually had a trend. You see how it was making a trend. And even though this is outside of the trend, that's just market manipulation. But price is still respecting that trend. It's still respecting it. So now that that's clear, let's look at this. Price came in, consolidated. It went up, took people out, and then it dropped, right? Then it made the retest, the second retest, blah, blah, blah. And then what is it doing right now? Look at this. One small retest, big move, big retest, big move, big retest. And then it dropped. Do you see that, bro?
Yeah.
How crazy is that? Like, look, it made it a little bit, then a bigger, and then a bigger one. And now dropping. Huh? It's awesome, bro. It's awesome. So now, what other thing I want to show you? So look, right here, price came in and it broke this zone. Why did I have this green zone? Because look how in the circle, prices did the same thing. Move, made a move up and then down. Move, made a move up and then down. Can you see that? And this happened, bro, in 2013. And then it happened again right here. This happened in May, I'm sorry. So now that this happened, price broke, right? And it came right into the zone to retest it. What do you think was going to happen? It was going to retest it. And what do you think that happened, bro? What do you think that happened?
It gone long.
Look. Before I show you, look. Remember this green line right here, right? You remember this? Look at it. Look at it. Came in, this blue. Look at these blue candles. Came in and retested. And we said it was going to drop and retest twice. Oh,
yeah.
What did it do? Blue candles. Retested it. Dropped. Retested it again. And dropped more.
Yeah.
Huh? This was on Friday, bro. How crazy is that? And what do you think it's gonna do now? It's gonna drop a little more, and then it's gonna come and do a bigger retest. It's gonna come and do a bigger retest, and then it will make a big drop. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome, bro, dude. And that's my actual chart. Look, I'll show you. That's my actual chart. That's my chart. That's what I'm waiting for. I've been taking this. And I want to show you support and resistance. Why is this green line right here? Why? Why is this the zone? Because look, one touch went down, another touch, rejection, another touch, rejection, another touch, rejection, another touch, rejection. It broke it. Boom, retested, rejection. Came in right here. Look at the wick, right into the zone, rejection, 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 rejection. So the same level can be support and can be resistance, because once price breaks it, it's going to come and retest it. So if it was a resistance, it now becomes a support. So rejection, 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 rejection. This went a little bit off, but it's still rejection. And if you see, it came in right to this line, which these lines, it's rejection, 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 rejection. You see that? That's just another level. It came up. Right? Boom, 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 came in into this zone, which is rejection, 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 came in into this zone, and then boom. Rejection a little, boom, into the zone, broke it, and now it's doing this. And now it's doing this. Now it's creating this. And this, where can we put another one? Right here. Why? rejection, 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 and then price right here, coming for rejection, rejection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So do you have clear what the homework will be right now?
Yeah, about figuring out